What?
So loud.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another night in SNU Esports. Tonight, kicking off the League of Legends season. They are looking to defend their GAC title from last year, starting off their season against University of Arkansas Monticello here in a little bit. But got to talk to the guys last week during the alumni game. It was a lot of fun. They're very excited. They are getting ready. They're pumped for this season. We have a new addition of Mason to the team and Cam. You'll recognize Cam from the Rocket League team. They are coming in to fill in the shoes of a couple of our seniors from last year. So I'm going to see some new faces, some returning faces this year. Caden going to be the captain of the team this year. But again, excited for what this season looks like for these guys. Getting to play in the alumni game was a lot of fun last week. So if you got to see that, that was awesome. I did really well, if you're wondering. But yes, so when we look at tonight, we are going to be looking at Caden going to take over the ADC role this year with Cam coming in as his support. So Cam kind of just picking up the game in the last year and a half. So he will be looking to fill that role, and then we're going to look to mid as we will see Thomas in the mid lane. He will take in his role that he played last year, a very good Galio player in the mid. So he plays a little bit more tank-esque role. And then in the jungle, we will be having Mason as he makes his debut for SNU Esports. And then in the top lane, Derek gonna come in. You may remember Derek as a Galio player as well, but he will be playing Malphite. He'll be playing Volibear, some kind of more of your tank, heavy hitter tanks. Kind of the patch right now really fitting into Derek's playstyle, which is a good thing for SNU. So as we get into the game here in a little bit, we will get underway with drafting into picks and bans, and then starting the first game. The Bow Weevils coming off a good week 1 against OBU, sweeping OBU 2-0. So SNU will look to take them out of the win column as they start their season this week. Had to buy the first week. When you're the reigning champions, you just got it like that, I guess. They will look to start their season this week and take down the Bow Weevils from Monticello. So we will take a quick break before we head into champion picks and bans and head into the game. But thank you for joining us. Quick shout out to our sponsors in ESK. Our jerseys will be here next week, so stay tuned for that. Very excited to showcase those and debut those next week. Primal Nerds, our local game store across the street in Yukon. If you tell them that you're with SNU Esports, you will get a discount. Re-Roof America, our big main sponsor for the past 2 years. They are awesome over there. If you need any roof help or repair, please give them a call. And then Buy Blue Light Glasses will be giving us our protection for the eyes as we start getting into this esports season and kind of just grinding late at night. And then the 34 Project and Children's Hospital just across the street from SNU. Big shout out to those guys and all the work they're doing. Excited to go volunteer over at the Children's Hospital with some of our guys soon. So stay tuned on our social media for that. We'll have lots of updates on all of that. But we will take a quick break before this match gets underway. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hello, Retro in the chat. We are about to get underway in our picks and bans. So, as we look for SNU's picks and bans, some things that I want to highlight that got to see a lot of last year is we're going to be focusing around Caden. Last year, we played a very protect the president kind of style gameplay where Caden was just trying to hyper carry the game. Our team just kind of playing more tanks around him. Going to be a little bit different this year. With the addition of Mason and Cam on the team, it is going to still kind of be focused on that bottom lane side. So a lot of our attention throughout the game will be going towards bottom. We're going to see a lot of carrying from Thomas. Thomas is starting to learn some big hyper carries coming in from them. And so very excited to see that. But a lot of focus in the bottom lane, as we talked about. But then you have Thomas and Derek on the top side of the map. And now with the addition of Otacon, that is just kind of pivotal on where Mason is going to be kind of pivoting around and trying to play around. And so going to be looking out for a lot of that in the game. And here we go. We are now in the pick and ban screen. Looks like we're waiting for University of Arkansas. Monticello going to start on blue side this game, and SNU on red side. So if you don't know, a lot of people prefer blue side because it is easier to just move your mouse cursor up to the top of the screen to move the map than it is down, especially when you're trying to last hit minions. So you're going to see the preferred side going to the blue side. So Monticello going to start on blue side as they get first pick of what side of the map they're going to be on. And then they're going to be able to get the first ban as we'll go into first pick. So if you're new to League, here we go. I'm excited. League's one of my favorite games. So get to listen to me commentate all night long. And just stay tuned. I'll try to get you covered with all the basics as we get underway. And here we go. Mundo and Kane being banned for Monticello. I guess Mason is a Kane player. Did not know that. Mason's going to be a very versatile jungler. Mundo's going to be an absolute classic and a Samira ban. Caden loves his Samira. Not his most played ADC, but a very big hyper carry coming in. And in the lower ranks, if you don't know how to take care of a Samira, it can just kind of explode later on in the game and just hyper carry any kind of game. SNU on the red side going to ban out a Mumu, a jungler hyper, and Malzahar. So I kind of talked to Thomas a little bit before the game started. Malzahar is more of a very big damage mid laner, and University of Arkansas Monticello's mid laner, their highest ranked player, is a Malzahar main. So SNU going to finish out the bans with Yorick, and University of Arkansas Monticello going to first pick their support in Seraphine. So Seraphine, a more of a caster support, kind of easier to play, has a big stun, has some big heals coming in. And I was going to say, Cam, very big Yuumi fan. Yuumi is going to be first picked here for SNU. So what that means is you're going to watch Cam. I like to make fun of him because Yuumi is a champion that you can play, and you don't really have to play the game. One of her abilities is you just attach yourself onto another person, and then they get to do all the work for you. And so Cam, classic, is going to be attaching himself onto Caden most of this game as Caden looks to hyper carry. Volibear going to come out for Derek. I'm going to assume that's going to be more of a flex jungle top, so we'll see at the end of this, but I think it's going to go more towards Derek, as Derek does love a Volibear. And then a Varus, interesting pick here from Arkansas Monticello. Not a very common meta ADC, but someone that can do a lot of burst damage later on in the game and has a very big crowd control ult. So going to be looking out for that in the team fight right now. Monticello having two big crowd control ults coming in from Seraphine and Varus, so we're going to have to watch out for that if you're SNU, whereas SNU on the other side, not a ton of CC going off between Volibear and Yuumi. So we'll look to see that in the last three picks. University of Arkansas Monticello going to finish off with a Sejuani, another crazy stun ult, and a big tank in their jungle. And Caden going to go in and pick his main of Nyla. Now, I would say Nyla, not a very meta ADC. Caden, however, does not care. and he is very good against Nyla or with Nyla. He is our highest ranked player, and in the alumni game did very, very well. So, and going to be watching the bot lane probably pretty heavily as we get into this game. But again, SNU not picking a ton of CC in the first three. Yumi having a CC ultimate, but when you look over at the Monticello side, their team fights are going to be massive. If they can get a team fight in a jungle in a closed space, they are going to look to be stun locking SNU down. And we're going to go into our final four bans. Monticello going to ban Garen, another one of Derek's maids, and Vigar. Thomas loves playing Vigar. And so SNU going to finish off their bans with Galio, which is a very interesting ban. I think Thomas plays Galio quite a bit. But as we look into Monticello's mid laner, their mid laner is also a very big Galio player. So just banning that out, not worrying about who's going to pick it. And then Rise, very hyper carry mid lane. So again, SNU kind of focusing their bans, banning three of Monticello's mid laners champions. And when he's the best on the team, you know, why not ban him? Malphite going to come in. Malphite is going to go into that top lane slot, and Volibear is going to follow up in that jungle. So that solves the flex pick there for SNU, and that is a very big engage. So now you have Yumi and Malphite. Look for them to engage for SNU. Malphite just kind of a very massive tank that most teams play around his ultimate, which is just a dash in and knock up. And Sion is actually going to go into that top lane to fight Malphite. So, going to be a very tanky top lane fight. Sion, maybe we'll see him do some proxying. And an interesting pick from Victor here. So, if you're SNU and you can blow up Victor pretty quickly, he doesn't have a ton of escape. That needs to be your main goal as you look at this team comp coming in from Monticello. It's going to be hard. There's a lot of CC and a lot of peel here from Victor. You kind of need to get on Varus, but right now your big worry here is Victor and this team selection. So we'll see who SNU finishes off in their mid lane, and they're going to pick a Lux. So more of a support mid laner coming in, but does have a ton of burst as we look into it. A Lux Victor, as a mid laner myself, a Lux Victor mid lane, not something you really want to go up if you're Lux. You're just going to get poked down pretty heavily. But Lux does have a lot of wave clear, so she can sit under her tower and farm up when she needs to. So most watched lane that we're probably going to see here is going to be this bottom lane. Obviously, the Seraphine Varus combo is going to be pretty secure and safe as we get into more of that late mid-game phase. But when you have a Yumi on your team and a Nyla, you're going to be looking for some heavy engage if the bot lane. So watch for the bot lane to take some fights pretty early. I'm a very big advocate of not top lane probably not going to fight a lot, but Derek isn't a very aggressive top laner, so he might try to get some pressure into Sion pretty early. And then a lot of our action will be in that mid lane as well and into the bot lane. So look for Victor to take control pretty early in this mid lane, but Lux has the damage, has the potential. Thomas needs to get ahead, find ways to get ahead in minions and in kills, and he will be doing pretty well. So as we start to load into the game, just a reminder, we have a 2-minute delay. So if you watch our preview video, you're going to see Cam smack the couch because we have a 2-minute delay. It is just league requirements for us to not be able to cheat, that we will go on a 2-minute spectator delay. So we will get right back. We're going to head to a quick commercial. They're the guys getting ready for their game. They're loading into the game, doing picks and bans in the game now. But getting ready as we start to load in, we are going to head to a break and wait out the spectator delay. So you don't have to listen to me just talk to your ear off for the next 3.5 hours. But we will be back when the game gets started here in a little bit. See you soon.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty hyped up. I think I'll probably be mad by the middle of the second day.
Thomas have a massive first game to take 1-0 in the series. That series is now tied 1-1. As we go back to Rocket League winning this series 2-0.
Speaking of pushing that advantage, are you kidding me?
5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. That was beautiful, Drew.
You got a nice face.
Thank you. Wow.
Hey, can we get a zoom in on Drew's face, please? Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome.
I smell. Oh my God! You didn't go in. Oh, they didn't get it. Go! Come on. You know what I smell? I smell a freaking national championship.
We're going to be on defense here. We are. Now. Oof. Wow. Oh my God.
If someone is in chat, please clip that.
I hope Landon doesn't cook
Somebody
you with that.
please clip that. Josh, can we clip that?
Oh
Is
my
that
goodness.
possible?
As a
An immediate leave from Rel, too. Not very happy.
a shutout game series even after.
What parts of this experience are you? What are you doing? Okay.
Yeah, Drew doesn't understand that he's in a box. Zane on 4, Landon 5, Cam still looking to get into this competition.
Wow.
Hey, it's okay. Cam had himself a day. What day was it?
Yeah, Thursday?
Thursday?
Yeah, he went bonkers.
Uh-oh, he's going to get one
Cam
here,
went
though.
30 nasty on
Bang!
Thursday.
Cam, 3.
Wow.
Cam is closing in now.
harder than I
He's 2 away.
It wasn't super insane. We can play a lot better than that. Expect.
All right, here we go. So, again, game going to be starting here soon. Just kind of waiting out the last of the spectator delay, but we are going to relook at the matchup. I kind of want to focus on the mid lane matchup. Again, that's my lane, so it's a lot easier for me to break that down for you. Lux going to have to be able to maneuver around the minions enough to hit her stun on Victor, but if Thomas is able to land that stun, she will have enough damage to kind of bully Victor out of the lane. So when we see a Sejuani in the opposite jungle, gonna have to be careful. Lux doesn't have a ton of escape, but neither does Victor. So be ready for both junglers to kind of hover around mid quite a bit, as now both mid laners don't have that escape ability. So ganks will be coming in quite often. Victor has one stun ability, but it is really easy to dodge. So Thomas gonna have to just kind of work his way around what that looks like. It brings a lot of pressure in the mid lane, as it is a very big area of effect stun, but gonna have to maneuver himself around to get Lux's stun out, and then once Lux hits that stun, it's kind of just big damage all around. So we'll be watching a lot of that, and it looks like here we go. So does not look like either team is going to invade, something SNU did quite a bit last year. But when you have a new jungler and you have a new support, you kind of want to wait, especially this is the first game of the season. You kind of want to wait to see how every team's going to play, kind of want to do your scouting report, but we might see an invade probably second game, not one that you want to see first game. And now, again, like I talked about, SNU's bottom lane going to be a very aggressive bottom lane. So they're going to sit in this bush, and I could probably assume they're going to wait for Arkansas Monticello's bottom lane to push up a little bit and just get some really early damage coming out onto their carry in the bottom lane, I guess. But going to be an early just kind of CS wave. They did not wait, so both pressure is going to go on the SNU side as they start to push the wave. And here's the bully factor from Victor, but he takes an early tower shot. So now Lux has a lot of prio in this lane. There goes Lux's E. Thomas just going to try to run him down. I don't think this is a great idea from Thomas. Doesn't have a lot of explosion in the damage on level 1, so he's going to try to get level 2 there. But here goes Kaden. Kaden going to jump in. Kaden going to do a lot of damage on Seraphine. Seraphine going to have to flash out, and there goes the Yumi damage. So huge stun there from Thomas. That was a great angle that he threw that out there. But a very, very good early start here from SNU, as Seraphine already having to use her flash in the bottom lane, and Thomas just getting a really early just lead in his damage as the Victor accidentally took that tower shot. And so gonna look to see how Thomas uses that to his advantage. He cannot lose lane here, and there's a big flash here from Victor. Victor landing the stun just on the edge, and here comes Arkansas. Monticello's jungle gonna flash in. Lux down, and like I said earlier, Lux does not have the escape ability, so if the jungler does come, that is pretty much an instant kill if you are on that low HP. Thomas unfortunately not able to flash out as he got stunned by Victor in Victor's little orb, I guess you could say. And so Lux going to be the first step of the game. Arkansas Monticello going to take that early first blood gold, and Victor going to shove Lux's lane down. So Victor going to go up in advantage here, and that's not something you want to see if you're SNU. Victor is their hyper carry. Victor is their best player on their team, and so you kind of need Thomas there to play a little bit more safe. He got really aggressive after Victor took the tower shot, which is great, but needed to pull back there and just focus on the wave, focus on the minions. But when you see blood, you see blood, and here's Caden gonna dash in. I don't think they'll be able to kill, and they just need to be very careful here. Surfing not a ton of mana, but able to do some burst damage enough to where Yumi, I don't think, can out heal it, but Cam doing a really good job down, poking down Arkansas Monticello. Here comes the exhaust barrier used by Varus, and so Caden just really doing a ton of work down here alone in the bot lane, and good for him. That was a great exhaust there by Cam to start that fight, and as you see, Varus immediately popping flash barrier. So no sums coming in from the bot lane. Let's look to see if our Volibear will start to focus now pretty heavily on the bot lane, as now Seraphine and Varus do not have flash. But Caden going to get poked down. Caden needs to be very careful. Here comes Arkansas Monticello's Sejuani, and we've already seen a very successful gank from Arkansas Monticello, and here she comes in the bottom lane. Caden just out of position, playing very aggressive. Good flash, though. Going to try to get sniped by Varus. Not going to be able to get him down, but Caden able to get out of there, as we see another very, very good gank from Arkansas Monticello's jungle. Here comes SNU's jungle. Volibear going to get a good stun in. Lux following that up with some big damage, and that first kill for SNU is going to go on the Volibear. And so we can see at the bottom of our screen kind of the gold lead here for SNU. Lux is going to be up some minions, which is surprising. Varus not able to just really control that mid lane against a Lux, especially after the first blood, but you're going to see the discrepancy in minions in the bottom lane. Caden up 9 minions, but a huge advantage here coming in from SNU's jungle too. Volibear up 10 minions and a kill, so just a big, big early start for SNU's jungle. You're going to start to see top lane going at it like that, and you're like, ooh, he's really low. Uh-oh. Nah, don't worry about it. 2 tanks, really a ton of health, just not in a position that they're going to be dying a ton of times. Now, they can, but not a ton of times will they be dying. And so we will see kind of how the rest of this game is going to play out. Again, a good early kill coming in from Arkansas Monticello in Victor in the gank from Sejuani, but SNU following that up with another gank on mid lane. And so both mid laners there. The kill going to Victor, but the assist going over to Lux, kind of evening out the playing field. As you can see, SNU up 0.6k gold, and early in the game, that's huge. Just some casual fighting at the top lane. 2 tanks going at it, not something that's going to be very devastating. We'll look to see top lane kind of when they're ganking, and there's the full Lux combo. So if you go to the mid lane, Victor, I mean, he is less than half HP from one full combo of Lux. That is the power of a Lux mid laner, but cooldown's not very long for Lux, but she doesn't have a ton of health, so she can just get ganked pretty easily, as we saw early on in this game. Just a lot of farming going on. As we see, kind of Sion gonna go and try to start proxy farming. He's out of mana though, but Sejuani's here to back him up. Derek not realizing this. Here comes Volibear. They all now found the Sejuani. Sejuani's just alone. Sion not able to help, and SNU going to be able to take down Volibear, or take down the Sejuani after the Sion just kind of had to leave. Did not have enough mana to turn around and help, and SNU is not done. Mason wants more. Mason has a kill and assist, and he's hungry for some more. Gonna try to chase down the Sion, make sure he doesn't back, and here we go. Caden gonna jump in. Caden gonna use all of his abilities, getting 2 huge knockups. They're focusing Seraphine. Seraphine gonna go down, and Caden just gonna keep the aggression on this Varus, knowing Varus doesn't have an escape, and Caden going to pick up another kill, and SNU really taking their advantage. Going up 4 kills. Sejuani ult on this Lux. Kind of interesting. Mason almost outplaying a Victor with literally 0 HP. That was a beautiful play there from Mason. A flash over the wall, getting all the help that he needed from Lux to finish off that kill, and a great trade coming in from SNU. Victor going to go up a kill though, but SNU going to get a good trade in that fight. So SNU going to be up 2.2k gold, a huge lead to start this game out. 8 minutes into this game, and everyone on SNU getting a kill. Even Yumi, even Cam, who doesn't even have to play the game, just picks a champion where he gets to ride on Caden's back the entire time. He even got a kill. So big start for SNU, and as you see, just kind of the power of Caden's Nyla. He just has the ability to just run them down like this. And here we go again. Caden not giving up. A good stun combo here from Lux. Ooh, Lux catching the tail end of a Victor stun. Not able to finish her combo off, and she would have got that kill if she was able to. But back to this bottom lane. That is the power of Nyla. Nyla able to just kind of farm whenever she needs to, but has the movement on her champion to just dash in and run in and take out the Seraphine, and that's what Caden is doing. He's putting all the pressure onto the Seraphine, knowing that he can just blow her up. Here we go again. Caden coming in, ulting, gonna easily kill this Seraphine. Oh, I say easily. It was not easy. He did have to blow flash to get it done, but we'll see if Cam is able to heal Caden up enough. Here comes this Yumi ult, and Cam, very, very good work from that Yumi, and Caden able to secure his 3rd kill of the game. Caden going to take advantage now, try to get these plates off of the bottom tower, and really just kind of push his lead way, way higher into this game. As you see, Caden up 30 CS. I'm going to assume, I think we can press T and maybe find out, but I'm going to assume he is probably up 4k gold. He's almost up a full item on their mid laner Varus. And so that is huge. Oh, as you see, Lux getting ganked here, but Mason doing a very good job counter ganking their top laner. And so trades going off across the map. You're going to question why Sion doesn't just immediately die. One of Sion's passive abilities is he can come back from the grave for 30 seconds and do damage still, but Mason going to get the gank top lane for Derek, getting that trade, and unfortunately Thomas getting the butt end of the Arkansas Monticello's jungle, and here we go again. Caden just not giving Arkansas Monticello's bot lane any time to breathe, not allowing them to farm in this lane at all, and just running them down. As you see, flash used from Yumi, or sorry, not flash, heal used from Yumi, and a heal also I think used from Seraphine there. So trying to keep Arkansas Monticello's bot lane alive, but Caden just not giving any link for Arkansas Monticello to get back into this game. And so SNU now going to turn their attention towards their 2nd dragon here. Thomas and Caden and Cam all making their way towards dragon, and that will be the 2nd dragon. That is a mountain dragon, so very good for SNU to just kind of end this game early, and that will be number 2 going over to SNU. And Sejuani trying to steal it there, not in a really good position too, and so gonna have to back off, give that one over to SNU, and just kind of let this game continue. But Caden, I think now having 3 kills is going to be massive for the end of this game, as we look towards now converting into mid lane, or converting into mid game. 12 minutes into this game. But Arkansas and Monticello, two very different kind of ways that they have approached this game. SNU putting a lot of effort and focus kind of on the top side. Top side, Mason's done a lot of good counter ganking top side. When he sees the Sejuani on the bottom of the map or the middle of the map, has focused his attention on that Scion top. But a lot of the kills going over to SNU's bottom ADC, which is massive. And then Arkansas Monticello on the opposite end, going to focus more on that mid lane, going to try to get Victor as head as much as they can. Again, that is Arkansas Monticello's best player. So here's the downfall of a Lux, not able to escape, and is just going to get run down here by Victor. But here comes Mason, a very beautiful stun coming out from Mason. Thomas going to try to do as much damage as he can before he dies, but Mason going to get another kill. Very good job from Mason to be in a position to go help his mid laner, Thomas. Oh, Mason not done yet. We have seen Mason just all across this map this game, and that is something that you want to see if you are on any team. It's always a jungle diff, but Mason just absolutely taking advantage of who he's playing up. Volibear is just such a big damage ability champion. And so SNU now going to go up 6 kills and almost up 5k gold. And here we go. Josh has figured out how to give us the gold advantage. So if you look towards the bottom of the screen, you can see the gold differential from each members of the team. Top kind of in an even position. Mason up 2,000 gold. That is almost a full item up on the Arkansas Monticello jungle. And before I finish that sentence, here comes Caden. Caden just, again, going in as quick as he can, trying to blast them down. And Arkansas Monticello having to use all of their summoner spells and abilities to get out of that one. But if you look towards the bottom again, you see Caden up 2,000 gold, Cam up 1,000 gold. Mid lane very equal, which is really good from Thomas to stay equal in this game. And here come both alts coming in. I think, yep, here comes the Scion ult. So Thomas trying to just do as much damage as he could there to the Victor, but not able to one-shot him, and Arkansas Monticello having to use a lot to get out of that fight. Arkansas Monticello now looks like they're going to take their attention over to Scuttle, and they're going to be able to try to get Rift. And SNU does not want to give this one up for free. Mason going to hang around. Not a ton of HP, but Lux, here she comes. And a huge double stun from Lux. A big ult, and they are going to be able to catch Arkansas Monticello in a bad position and pick up 2 kills. If I am correct, I think both of those went to Lux. Let me double check here. Yes, they did. So, big up for Thomas there, as he's trying to claw his way back into a game after a very hard laning phase. But Arkansas Monticello not done. Does not want to give this rift up early. And I think that is a bad idea, but he steals the rift. Victor steals the rift in trade for his life, but isn't able to pick up the rift eye. And so, really kind of getting rift. Victor was able to do the last hit on it, but preventing SNU from completing Rift Herald, which is probably going to buy UAM maybe 15 minutes in this game. But as you see, there's the power of the Lux. Catching Varus out of position and just one-shotting him. You hate to play against the Lux as a mid laner, but if you play it perfectly, you can really do some damage. And Arkansas Monticello's mid laner has done just that with a lot of help from Sejuani, but maybe too many resources focused on the mid lane from Arkansas Monticello to allow both SNU's top and bottom lane to just go crazy. And so SNU now taking a lead, 5k gold lead. And here we go. We're going to get a quick fight. Caden is the most greedy player I've ever met in my life. And if he gets out of this, I'll give him a promotion. I don't know how you get promoted from captain, but SNU can turn this around. Wow. I mean, that is a clip of a century. Caden on maybe 100 HP turning that fight around and genuinely somehow surviving and turning around and getting 2 kills is so impressive. That is just the power of Caden, and that is how good he is mechanically on this champion. And that's why Nyla is his main. And you probably should ban that out if you're playing as new. If anyone's watching an opposing team and you're like, I'm gonna watch VODs on SNU to see how we beat them, ban Nyla. I hate to be that guy and spoil all of SNU's secrets, but get Caden off this champion. He's too good on Nyla. And so SNU now going to try to get their third dragon. Oh, almost a steal here from Varus. A beautiful snipe there from Lux, and good grief. SNU now just taking this game away. We're genuinely only 18 minutes into this game, but SNU is up 15 kills, almost 13k gold. When you really think about all the towers that they're probably about to get, and there's one, SNU just kind of going to just steamroll probably the rest of this game, unless they honestly just throw. That is the only way they lose this game, is if they throw a huge lead. Caden gonna go up 4k gold. If you look at the bottom of your screen, Nyla has 2 completed items and completed boots, and their Varus has 1 completed item, and he's not even close to his second. And here comes a Malphite ult to try to punish Sion from being out of position. Caden, wow. Caden flashing in front of the Sion to stop him from ulting out was insane. Again, that is just such a mechanical play that if you really don't understand what's going on there, it just looks like it's very easy to do. But Caden having to think that Sion is about to ult out of that situation and get out free, so he flashes and makes sure he gets prevented from doing that. It's so smart. And SMU now just going to run down this top side of the map. But Arkansas Monticello going to put up a little bit of a fight here. Mason gonna get caught. Arkansas Monticello doing a lot of damage on the Mason. But here comes Caden, and I think Arkansas Monticello is pretty afraid of what this Nyla can do. Nyla 6-0 right now on the no-hitter watch, the perfect game watch. If you're into October baseball like I am, this is a very, very impressive showing that we are seeing. Nyla going to try to steal the blue buff, but maybe her perfect game is going to be eliminated here. Caden in a 1v4 situation. Let's see what he can do. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of that one, and he doesn't. The 1,000 gold bounty going to go over to Varus. Not something you want, but if it goes on Victor, that may be worse for SNU, so it is okay that it's going to go on to the Varus. Lux probably in a position right now that she can one-shot Varus, so that is genuinely fine. And SNU still trying to scrap their way to this top lane tower. They want this tower gone as quick as they can. But good micromanagement here from SNU to push the mid lane while also sending 2 top bot lanes pushing. This is exactly what you want to see. But Thomas using all of his abilities to try to snipe out this Varus. Maybe not the best idea. Varus not worth any gold, and now Yuumi just not able to do anything. Oh, I was about to say Cam getting out of that is insane. And SNU just needing to go on the retreat here. But there's the Malphite ult to try to get out of a situation like this. Sion gonna ult him, knock him up. And if you're Mason here, you just gotta leave. Not worth your life to go up and try to help. And let's see who this bounty goes on. It's a 900 gold bounty on Victor, so that is going to bring Arkansas Monticello back into this game a little bit. 2 almost 1,000 gold bounties going to both of their carries is not what you need if you're SNU, so you're just kind of trying to play safe now. I think we're being a little bit aggressive, kind of catching us out of position. I think we're focusing a lot onto this top side of this tower, trying to knock it down, and Arkansas Monticello taking down this Otacon, which is a huge, huge boss in this game. So if you're new to League, or if you watched last semester, Otacon has changed drastically. So last semester, if you remember, Otacon gave you either what we call a GA, which is kind of a second life, or it gave you a ton of roses. This year, you'll see some flowers around the map. Otacon kind of buffs what those flowers do. So it'll give you increased damage or increased experience gain. So your characters and champions will be a higher level than what they should be. And so Otacon, a very important member of the 3 bosses for League of Legends to get. And Caden just going to try to solo kill Seraphine. Seraphine going to flash out. And Caden gonna get stunned here. Maybe getting caught out of position again is Caden. Caden gonna go into a 1v3. Let's see what he can do. He takes down Seraphine. It's gonna jump onto the Varus, gets the Varus kill, staying alive, and he gets the Sejuani kill. Wow. Caden playing that just perfectly enough to where he does not die. The huge shield coming in from Yumi to keep Caden alive. And just a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but we are back. An absolutely beautiful play there from Caden. A greedy play? Sure. I'll say it was a greedy play. Caden trying to flash his skills a little bit, but a beautiful 1v3 there from SMU's carry. And I think Caden will be able to just carry them throughout this game. If you're Arkansas Monticello, you got to look to put your stuns and your roots and all of your kind of team damage onto that Hydro, but going to be very, very hard to do that for him. And so now going to kind of take it a little bit slower. If you're SNU, slow this game down. You just got your 4th dragon. Need to push out all of the waves here and just position yourself into maybe a Baron angle. But SNU, not even just SNU, Caden, not wanting to do that, wanting to end this game quick. And he is going to start trying to shove mid as much as he can. Kind of shocked he doesn't just jump on this Sejuani right now, and probably thinking the rest of Arkansas Monticello is nearby. Sejuani trying to bait it out, and they're farming mid. And here we go. Mason going to catch out a lone Scion, but Arkansas Monticello is going to start rotating up. So SNU needing to get this kill quick or back off. They're going to choose to back off. Probably the better decision there, as their Malphite is bottom lane with no TP. And here comes Arkansas Monticello TP. Victor going to go down there to try to stop Malphite from pushing. But SMU in a very good position here to try to catch one member or 2 members of Arkansas Monticello out. And an interesting dash smite there from Sejuani. A big Sejuani ult, not really going to do anything. So if you're SMU, you see a Sejuani ult, you see the Victor TP as he's bottom, you got to turn your eyes towards Baron here. You see a big green light for Baron, and that's exactly what they're about to do. And you're now on to Baron, and Arkansas Monticello just not in a really good position right here to try to stop that. But Derek and his brother are going to try to do everything they can to make sure they don't even get close to getting up here. Sejuani didn't get in to smite that. A big combo ult there from Hydro. Hydro going to get 4. Can he get the penta kill? He's going to look to get it, and SNU going to give it to him. Big penta kill there from Caden. An absolute beautiful clinic he is putting on in the bot lane and carrying on throughout the rest of this game. Dashing in, 4-man ulting, getting a quadra kill. He is 16-1 now, guys. And SNU going to look to end game 1 right here. Have the Baron minions, and they're going to shove into Arkansas Monticello's base. They have 15 seconds before really most of their team is up, and so they might try to back off here. We'll see. Gonna get the inhib. I'm wrong. I forget we are bloodthirsty, and so we're going to continue this game into their base. Caden, fresh off a pentakill, has not backed. A huge ultimate there from Lux, making sure Seraphine is not able to step up there, and SNU is going to take their victors and get out of this fight. But SNU up 21 kills equates to 12k gold. I lied. They're not done. They're not backing yet. They're going to get bottom tower. We clean Arkansas Monticello's lane towers out, and now Arkansas Monticello's base is the lone thing that stands in between SNU and a big. You might look to see Caden here dash in. He has all of his summoner spells and a very, very easy kill on Victor and Varus. Caden's positioning himself that he wants to do it, and you might see it now. Big E there from Lux, but not a stun. A flash coming in from Varus. Caden going to get rooted here by the Sejuani. Going to have to get out. Dashes out. Here comes all of Arkansas Monticello, and this is what they need to do. All of their utility going on to Caden. Caden doesn't care. A 3-man ult again. coming in from Caden. And there he goes, able to clean up the rest of this game. SMU going to take down the Nexus and take game one off of Arkansas Monticello, off of a very, very big clinical play from Caden Miller on Nyla in the bot lane. So as the Nexus falls, we will gear up for game number 2 here. Again, best of 3 series, so only we'll need one more game for SNU, but a very, very beautiful performance coming in from SNU here. And we will be right back as we get into Picks and Bans.
I was always running 20 something. Never found the right hands to put my trust in. I'm scared that there'll be nothing better. We can feel this way forever. Your eyes are staring back at me. Don't let me crash, I'm in too deep.
right, welcome back. We are getting ready for game number 2 in the draft pick and ban phase. If you're just now joining us, we had an absolute clinical first game coming in from really all across the board from SNU. And so something that you do love to see. And SNU now going to keep the same two bans. Amumu and Malzahar going to be banned out for SNU against University of Arkansas Monticello. Monticello must be in the chat listening because they took my advice, or they just realized that they just got thrashed by Nyla and are going to first ban Nyla and Mundo coming in for their second ban there. So, what we're probably going to see here from Caden, unless he gets banned out, Caden going to look to pick into that Samira pick, I would assume. Another very big hyper carry there for him. Thomas not liking to play against the Victor, going to ban the Victor out. Victor was Arkansas Monticello's best character on the first game of this series, and so Thomas not appreciating all of the abilities that he has, so we're going to ban him out there. And again, Arkansas Monticello's best player and probably most versatile player going to be their mid laner. Arkansas Monticello returning the favor there, banning the one-shot Lux that Thomas just played. So, gonna see two mid laners banned here for SNU, and on the side of Arkansas Monticello, one from top, mid, and bot. What can I say? Cam loves his kitty cats and is going to play Yumi again. They're all laughing. Cam's standing in the chair, spinning. Guess what? That's basically what Yumi does. Cam doesn't even have to have his hands on a keyboard to play this character. So if you guys see Cam throughout the school day tomorrow, please make fun of him for who he's picking in League of Legends, because this is the easiest character in the game. It worked out. I'm not going to discredit him. I mean, he did great last game. But Arkansas Monticello going to pick the Mordekaiser into that top lane slot. One of Derek's picks right there. So going to instead of banning Derek out, going to try to pick him out. We will see what Derek will come in and play with his Mundo and Mordekaiser being banned or picked and banned. I would assume he might go. He might go back to the Malphite. I think Garen not being banned here is a very open spot for him. He loved playing Garen. Ornn is another good option. Ornn very good for kind of that CC ability that SNU needs. Kayn, one of Mason's main characters on the jungle side. We'll see if Mason locks this Kayn in. So that means you're going to see a lot of heavy damage coming in from SNU. Tristana, a very interesting pick from Kaden. So not one that is going to be that very early game bruiser that he likes to play in the ADC role. Going to gear more towards the late game here. A lot of damage onto the Tristana if Tristana can get fed, or it gets into that late game. We call Tristana a very hyper carry ADC, meaning that if she gets a lot of kills, basically unstoppable. And Alawi's going to be picked from Arkansas Monticello, so going to be interesting. I would assume that Alawi's going to go towards that top side. Mordekaiser maybe going to be more flexed into support. No, Seraphine's picked. Mordekaiser going into the jungle. So we will see. Hey, Brantley Thompson, would love for you to join voice call so I can get some of your opinions on all of this. SNU going to get banned. Igar, Monticello loves banning Thomas out of mid lane. And I'm going to expect SNU, yep. I was going to expect SNU to ban the Jhin, and they did. Jhin, one of Arkansas Monticello's most played champions throughout their scrims and throughout all of their games last season and this season. Jhin going to be first ban for SNU, and unfortunately, there's the Garen ban that I was talking about. So instead of Derek picking it, it's going to just get banned out against him. And SNU will look to finish off this pick ban phase with a ban on, let's see, who would we ban? I'm going to assume a mid lane. Oh, didn't like the Sejuani from last game. Too much CC for them, they said. Sejuani going to be the final ban in this phase. And so now Arkansas Monticello are going to start the second phase of this and pick Wukong going into the jungle. So Mordekaiser mid. I guess, is what? Brantley is in the chat. Brantley could be the second voice, so you don't just hear my voice right now, which I'm talking a lot, but Brantley is choosing to play Rust instead of helping his friends out. Everyone shame him. Shame him in the chat for that. So Monticello's team comp right now, Mordekaiser, I'm assuming, is going into that mid lane, Seraphine going into the support role, Alawi top, Wukong in the jungle, SNU running it back with a Malphite in the top lane, a Yumi in the support, a Morgana mid, interesting choice. So SNU really relying heavily on this Malphite tank, whereas if you look on the Monticello side, really kind of having three tanks. Please pick the Ziggs. Please pick the Ziggs. Ziggs, my favorite champion in League of Legends, is going to be picked for Arkansas Monticello in the ADC role, unless I'm getting trolled. No. Locked in Ziggs. So Arkansas Monticello going to have a Zig Seraphine bot lane. Very, very, very big damage coming in from their bot lane. And when you look at SNU side, Tristana not going to start with a ton of damage, but gonna have some pretty big wave clear. So a lot of just kind of aggression in the bot lane from Arkansas Monticello, whereas there's not a ton from SNU until you get to around level 6, where Yumi and Tristana can get their ults and get active. But you might not see Caden. Actually, that's not true. Caden is an EO player, and coming off the game that he just had, I guarantee Caden's going to try to bully the Zig Seraphine. So it'll be really interesting to see that lane. It's going to be really interesting to see that lane in their entirety throughout this game. I'm very interested to watch how this mid lane goes, though. Mordekaiser Morgana mid lane going to be one that you don't see very often. You don't see Mordekaiser mid very often at all. And so, it's going to be fun to watch SNU just dominantly handling Monticello in game one. Again, Caden, I think, finished that game 16-1. Got to see a pentakill from him. Watch our Instagram, because I guarantee we're going to be posting one of those clips from him. Because it was, my jaw hit the floor. It was insane. And there's the boys. All smiles, all giggles, buy blue light glasses on Caden and Cam. Guys, soon they're going to be having jerseys, all 5 of them. All 5 with jerseys on. Some wearing jerseys from last year. Love to see that. But very excited to see this team and what they're going to do in their championship defense season, you can call it, as they head into game 2 of the series against Arkansas Monticello. We are headed into our favorite time of the day, the 2-minute spectator delay. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back and get into game number 2.
How's everyone feeling out there? For one night only, we present to you Abstract and MP High. If you're here to have a good time, let me hear you say yo. You don't know, big it up, NJ, War Red Rhythm. Giving it to you the way we know how. Big it up, eat speed, and for me.
We're 10 seconds away from this game starting. Josh, what a gentleman to add that countdown clock for our fans out there to see how close we are, and also for me to see how close we are as we look to gear up for game two. Like I said in the first game, I would expect a more aggressive start here from SNU, maybe looking towards an invade. They're playing very passive, trying to feel out the other team, but you have a Morgana with a very early Q, so maybe looking towards this early engage into Arkansas Monticello's bot side jungle. So let's see what they decide to do here. And Arkansas Monticello going to do the normal start, going to split up, and all of SNU going down mid. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, the ego players in them, they can't resist this. So SNU going to look towards the evade in the top side. They're not going to catch anyone, probably. No, I lied. Wukong's going to start walking up to the top side. Wukong may get some vision here of them. I can't tell. I think he does. I think he saw Caden pretty early on. They're going to retreat. Alawi now in this middle part of the jungle. So Alawi going to take the mid lane here for Arkansas Monticello. Mordekaiser going to go towards that top side. Again, a very interesting choice from Monticello to send an Alawi into this mid. I'm not sure how the Morgana Alawi matchup is. You don't see that like at all. So we will see. But before we get this game started, we have a guest.
Hello?
Hello, Gage.
What's up?
Welcome. Did you get to watch game one at all?
I did not.
Your brother, 16-1, very ego played a couple and caught himself in 1v4 situations. One of them, he got a pentakill, which was insane. And you'll get to see that clip on our Instagram because it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great. So what win then? We won game one?
We did. We won game one pretty handily. Before 30 minutes, they kind of just able to collapse Monticello down. A lot of kills going into the bottom lane from that game one. So, as you would expect from a former player, you know how that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as we look into game two, again, this Morgana Alawi matchup, I'm going to assume you're going to see a lot of aggression coming in from Alawi. We're gonna just have to be able to sit and farm. Maybe not something Thomas wants to do, but something that this matchup will kind of force him to do. It's not going to be enticing. And then Arkansas Monticello, their bot lane just is going to have a ton of damage pre-6, and so hopefully SNU will play a little bit more passive. I don't know if that is in Caden's vocabulary to do, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Caden only knows how to go forward, which it works out for him. So, but what I like to see is that we have that Yumi. So Cam is playing Yumi, Bubba's playing Yumi, and that pairs really well with Caden's play style. And so I'm expecting them to do great things down in the bot lane for us later on in the game.
Yeah. I was about to say, speaking of great things down on the bottom lane, here goes Caden. Caden going to E into the Ziggs, but not much damage going to be able to be followed up from that as his exploding bomb already went off. And so Ziggs and Seraphine going to be able to retreat. But almost all the summoners blown from Arkansas Monticello's bottom side there. And so now kind of leaving them available to be ganked. And Kane, a very good person to gank. And just kidding.
Flashing in, flash.
Yeah, Caden's just going to flash it on 0 HP. Oh. Caden's going to flash it on 0 HP and try to get down the Ziggs.
Isn't looking good.
Yeah, Wukong in a great position here. for a counter play, and Caden kind of out of position, not going to be able to get out of this, going to look to try to get one kill. And unfortunately, Yumi is such a useless champion that once she's not on a character, she just dies.
Looks like we're gonna get the counter kill back up at top lane. We have Mason.
Yeah, Mason doing a very good job in what he did last game, and a very good counter gank there for him. So 2 kills going over Arkansas Monticello, 1 kill coming back for SNU into that top side. But again, not something you really prefer to see. 2 kills going into that Wukong, though, however, kind of gives Caden a breath of fresh air that 2 kills didn't go onto Ziggs. Because if that happened, then Ziggs would be able to do just an absolute ton of damage to start this game.
Yeah, exactly. I would have liked to see them play a little more safe in the bot lane. You talked about it, but they use both of their summoner spells, and so that when Ziggs isn't really a champion that can walk around very much, so they definitely had the advantage. They stepped up. SNU could have punched them many times, but we got a little too excited down in the bot lane. But Flash is still on cooldown. Flash is still on cooldown, so if we play the wave right and they step up, we can still punch them bot.
Yeah, and that's something good that Tristana's really good at. She has that gap closer in her E to just be able to jump in. It's going to be really nice later on in this game when Ziggs doesn't have that flash, just doesn't really have any ability to escape a fight. And so Tristana going to be able to jump into that backline and do all of her damage that she can do as a champion into that Ziggs. And so now both teams going to position around Dragon here. SNU having that red ward.
This is great for us, though. Lowie's not level 6, and our Morgana mid is level 6. We would win this fight hard.
Yeah, both teams kind of just getting pressured out, though.
Yeah.
And it looks like both teams going to retreat. Kane going to go towards that top side. Wukong also going to finish his clear in his jungle. And so now just a good reset here coming in from both sides. Would have been a nice fight, maybe, for SNU to take that. I don't know how much mana Morgana had going into that, but...
I agree 100%. I would have loved to see SNU force that. If they try to fight that, I think it would have been a big win for us. But I will never complain that we're going to slow it down, play it a little safe, trust ourselves, trust it. If the game stays kind of close to even, we can win it later. So we're not dying.
Absolutely.
But we're not getting kills.
Yeah, and gold kind of even across the board. SNU down 1k here, but again, that 1k going to really just kind of be dispersed across all of Monticello. You don't see one champion just having all that gold. Really, the champion that kind of does is Wukong, and so beneficial to say in the least that it's not a lane champion to where they can just harass enough to not be able to play the game. But Hayden doing a very good job staying in this game, kind of even on CS with the Ziggs that has 2 assists. Derek getting really just bullied by this Mordekaiser, but that's kind of what you expect against this matchup. And until really 6 or kind of maybe level 11, not something that you can do. But Kane going to come up here and look for a gank.
They should have the damage for this.
Yeah, hopefully Derek going to be able to ult there to try to prevent himself from dying. But again, Mordekaiser does so much damage. Mordekaiser going to have to get ulted by both of SMU members. Yeah, I don't know if Mason gets it. Mason does get it, thankfully. That got a little scary. Mordekaiser's shield kind of preventing him from dying early on and keeping him alive throughout that fight. But on the opposite side of the map, they see that Mason is topside. So Arkansas Monticello pivoting themselves into a good position to get Dragon and kind of just pushing their lead just a little bit further. Not something you see very often from SNU giving up first Dragon, but SNU going to try to get that kill on the top side. Unfortunately, having to trade for it and losing Dragon.
We're going to get grubs too, which is unfortunate. It's a lot of early pressure. But right now, if I'm SNU, I'm telling everyone to stay calm. Like, we got this in the bag. If you look at drafts, they don't have an ADC at all. They picked the Ziggs, so they kind of have like a magic carry, I guess you could say.
But when they picked the best champion in the game.
I see Tristana on our side, and I think, wow.
Yeah, they picked the best champion in the game, Gage. Ziggs. Yeah,
I see I mean, yes, Ziggs has a lot of magic burst. He's one of your just well-known champions. But I look at late game and I see who's gonna kill Malphite, who's gonna kill a Kayn, who's gonna kill Morgana, just stunning everyone. I see Caden having a field day if the game's close. I see another. He said quadra kill last game. I see a pentakill, maybe another quadra kill.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Tristana, if SNU is able to hold on towards that 30-minute mark, that Tristana is going to just be so much of a pressure for Arkansas Monticello to deal with.
He got a good
I
gank.
also
Yep.
think,
Look at this.
yeah,
Caden
here
jumps
comes
in
Caden.
Ooh.
That was a beautiful Ziggs W there to bounce Caden out of the way, but Caden positioning himself into a good spot to eat over the wall and maybe try to alt Ziggs, but didn't want to miss it. So held on to it. And again, you want to punish the Ziggs when he doesn't have flash. His flash just came up in that fight. And so Caden gonna have to back off there.
Yeah, maybe a little patience there, because I see he was waiting to jump in. He jumps in, and he has his ult, which can knock somebody back. Oh, Derek might get a solo kill here.
This could be
That's a
huge, and
big
there it
play
is.
by
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah, Mordekaiser not able to alt Derek out, and Derek gonna get the solo kill over on his side. Huge for Derek and Malphite in general, just because Derek has had some trouble in that lane already. Mordekaiser just a very big bully in the top side, and so for Derek to just get that kill by himself, giving him that just extra boost on gold. I noticed Derek taking Arcane Comet to try to get a little bit more pressure on that top side. I would assume Derek was probably 50-50 on who he was going to go against. Again, you don't really see an Alawi mid very often. And so Arcane Comet against either one of those was a very smart choice coming in from Derek. Thomas doing a very good job in this mid lane. Probably a very, very difficult matchup for Morgana. Not able to step up and really do a ton of things. The tentacles are just going to put so much pressure. And Alawi's just ability to life gain is huge there.
Yeah. I'm looking at the jungle right now, and I don't know if we could fully see, but Kayn, he snuck in there and he stole two of this Wukong's camps right now. And you see Kayn has a whole level lead right now. Mason has a big lead that he built up. He did a good job invading and stole camps. Whenever you steal a jungle camp, it feels great, because not only do you get gold, so say you get plus 50 gold, you also deny them the chance of taking that camp. So it looks like plus 50 or even plus 100 gold to you that they don't even get. So it feels great when you steal, and he stole 2 camps. So that Wukong's going to be pretty mad after that happened. Yeah, and we're seeing the gold here right now. Kayn only has 1 kill, and now he's 200 gold up on the Wukong with 2 kills, and we're ganking mid.
Yeah, Mason really just taking advantage here. Going to gank mid, going to ult this Alawi, but going to have to dodge all of these tentacles flashing out. Very good flash coming in from Mason and giving Thomas the kill. Now Thomas having some pressure, needs to shove that mid lane in to deny Alawi all of that CS and maybe look to get a plate, but Wukong kind of hovering on the mid side. Maybe gonna not allow that to happen.
Yeah, it's great plays for my jungle right now for SNU. It's 2 levels up, level 9 now to the Wukong's level 7. Ganks mid, flashes, doesn't die, gives that kill to Morgana. Like, it's a great last 2 minutes for Mason. And what we saw was earlier they had a 1k lead. Now we're looking at almost an even gold lead, and we're up on 1 kill. So really good stabilizing here after we lost 2 dragons, or not 2 dragons, dragon and void grubs, and those early kills. We're kind of bringing it back.
Yeah, gonna be huge there for Mason to do that. Now with dragon spawning in 2 seconds, SNU going to look to get that macro play back in. Mason gonna have to back and hopefully get this back in time for dragon, but Arkansas Monticello going to try to bait Derek in with the Mordekaiser back, and their jungler sitting on that top side. Probably just now sees that dragon that spawns, needs to get to the bottom as quick as he can. Mason hasn't left base yet, though.
I'm wondering,
so maybe
if
just waiting on an item.
Form. He might be waiting on form for Kayn.
Oh,
Kayn,
you're right. Yeah.
For viewers who don't know, he's a champion that after 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, he transforms and into either a red or a blue version of Kayn. It just buffs all of his abilities. It's a big transformation. Oh, and we see the solo bolo by Derek in the top lane.
Yeah, Derek just kind of going off now on his own and just able to just take down this Mordekaiser by himself. I think Kayn did transform. Oh, but a big catch here from Monticello. But here comes Mason to try to maybe save Kaden. I don't know if they're going to be able to do this. Yeah. And SNU going to lose 2 and the Dragon. We'll see if Yumi's able to get onto this. Morgana does not. So SNU losing 3 members here and a second Dragon in this game. Very, very crucial for Monticello. A good collapse there, catching Caden in the bottom jungle and just really punishing SNU for being in the bad position.
It's really bad, and like you said, it's bad positioning. What we want to see is Kane kind of in the front line hopping around, and we want to see Morgana in front, Thomas in the front, going in with his ultimate, and then Caden behind both of them just getting to hit free. But I don't know if a miscommunication, but Caden was too far up there, and Wukong sees it and collapses, and that's a big play for them.
Yeah, one thing that is going to set Monticello pretty far ahead too is this Ziggs' passive ability to take down towers quickly. And so Ziggs really trying to get that bottom tower to get the first tower gold and the improved boots. But Arkansas Monticello just really does have just kind of the advantage and the power to just really try to end this game as quick as possible, whereas SNU, on the other hand, wants it to extend as long as possible. The more it extends, the more Tristana is going to get big. And so both teams on a different mission here. Both teams kind of executing almost evenly. Both of their missions, a big flash from Alawi. That is going to be vital as Rift Herald is now spawning. Alawi having to back. SMU needs to collapse on this Rift Herald as quickly as they can. And so they can have the man advantage.
Yeah. If I'm SNU, I still feel confident in fighting this. You can kind of see as we were watching that top fight with Derek and their Mordekaiser top. Derek's got his magic item now, his magic defense item, and he's just not taking much damage. Oh, this should be 2 kills for SNU.
Yeah, very good ult here coming in from Derek. Double knock up. Here comes 1 for Kane, and now 3 members on this Mordekaiser. As long as Derek doesn't die.
We should give this to Caden. I believe we will. Yep.
Should give it to Yumi. Yep. So SNU gonna change their look towards that Rift Herald after getting 2 good picks there, but Arkansas Monticello doing a lot of damage to the bottom lane against SNU, taking the first tower of the game and going to have to back off. So trade for 1 tower, first tower of the game, and 2 deaths and a Rift Herald from Monticello. Maybe not the trade you want to see, especially with the game so even and Tristana getting 1 of those kills. Probably going to lose that, but a good move there from Ziggs to at least get something out of a bad play.
Yeah, that will secure them feats, I believe, which is good for them. They might have already had it with the kills, but it's good. 2 good kills for us. Thomas is putting a lot of pressure on the top tower right now. It's getting close to falling.
Yeah, SNU looking to try to defend.
If you look at the map, like we have our mid laners top, our support and bot or middle, and Derek's bottom. Right now, there's 3-4 of them in the mid lane. They're just missing a lot of gold, a lot of experience right now. They're kind of grouping up a little too much, maybe showing a little bit of inexperience from them.
And here we go. Derek going to look to get collapsed on here by Alawi, but I don't think they'll be able to kill him. He doesn't have a first tower for safety, but I don't think Monticello has the damage to kill him. Mason going to look to his top side and going to get a very, very good kill going over to Thomas. And now Thomas kind of coming alive right now. And so that is huge for SNU as Monticello is not able.
Tower 2 top as well. Ooh, Ziggs
I don't know.
Try to save it. Yeah, I'm really worried for Arkansas right now. I'm looking at Derek and I'm watching them press their ultimate. They're pressing all their abilities, and he's sitting at 3/4 health right now. Like, who's going to be the person on their team to kill this Malphite? Because Lowy's not going to do it. Mordekaiser's not going to do it. I don't think Ziggs is going to do it. And this is the part where they drafted no ADC. Okay, Derek's going to ult. Kane comes in, finishes him off. And Derek sat there for 30 seconds and just got wailed on by their team. I don't know if they're
not having an ADC is tough. Yeah, I agree. Derek kind of getting big in the last 5 minutes of this game, getting a lot of kills and kind of turning the tides towards SNU. A huge stun there by Thomas. Beautiful kill there coming in from Thomas. But like I said, maybe a tough first 10 minutes of this game for SNU. But Derek kind of taking SNU under his wings this game and really just turning this around. And so SNU going to fight in this bottom river here.
This is
A
going to be
good
good
Kane
for
ult to
SMU.
keep him alive. Will he be able to get out?
Yep,
There's one
Wukong
kill coming
falls.
in from Caden. Caden going to look to turn towards Seraphine. Seraphine flashing out. Caden not going to be able to get that second kill, but massive for SNU as Dragon is spawning right now as they look to get their first Dragon of this game.
Derek TP's in. This is great opportunity. The other team's jungler's dead. They don't have the smite ability. This should be a free dragon for us. It stops them from stacking dragons. This honestly feels like if we get this dragon, it kind of just honestly seals the game, at least for me.
I agree. Now SNU going to look to take this team fight too. Arkansas Monticello just kind of sticking around there. But 4 members are going to be down here now. Mason going to get a huge double knock up. And we'll see if Caden is able to get in there and start getting cleanup kills. There's one. Caden going to jump in, get 2.
Double.
Yep.
Triple.
Oh, Thomas taking
Thomas
the 3
steals it.
and the 4.
Oh,
Was a beautiful team fight there from SNU.
and what you see in that fight is exactly what we want to see. Derek's on the front line. Mason's right next to him. They use everything that they have. They bring down Mason, but Mason creates a lot of space, and then they still don't even kill Derek. Derek might fall here to Wukong. It's ganking. I think Derek runs away. Derek might just run away from this. This would be criminal. He's running. Wukong's
No way. Derek's going to get caught by Wukong here.
He's going to have his dash here in a second. Oh, he gets away.
Wow. But a good just kind of heads up play there from SNU to turn after they fight the dragon. And now Thomas going to try to take on this Wukong, knowing his Kane is right behind him. Kane going to turn around and actually get the red buff because Thomas is going to try to finish this kill.
He's going to dodge. He's going to dodge. He dodges the skill move.
But just a very good overall play in that team fight. And that's the one good thing about Kane is you can go in, especially a blue Kane, you can go in, or a red Kane, sorry, you can go in and take as much damage as you can and then just press alt and you're still not dead and you can't be targeted. And so that's exactly what Mason did. He absorbed so much just burst damage from Arkansas Monticello, but in the end just ulted and wasn't able to get taken down instantly. And that allowed for SNU to just turn that and make it a vertical team fight. And that's exactly what you want to see for Caden, just a up-down vertical team fight. So where he can just jump and get resets over and over again.
Yeah, and at this point, we have about a 4K lead. I mean, Derek continues to grow more tanky. Same thing with Mason. I don't think the other team has the damage to kill us. And at this point, barring any SNU throws or us just making just crazy mistakes, it looks really, really good for us. I think we might have a 5v5 here top at Otacon Pit.
Yeah, and we'll see. Both teams going to go in. Very big ult there from Derek, getting 2 knocked up. Otacon getting stolen by Arkansas Monticello. But here comes Caden. Caden getting 1 reset. Caden got 2 resets.
Clean.
And that is exactly what you expect from a Tristana. Just to be able to just burst damage so quickly. The other team and getting reset after reset after reset there was Caden. Caden probably could have reset 2 more times in that fight, but chose to take down their carry instead of get greedy and get kills. And I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, I mean, we draft very well, and we're just executing the draft we did. Thomas has had he had that solo kill. He's looked great. He's got his farm. Really, there's no one that you can complain about from SNU. It's looked great.
Yeah, an absolute very good cleanup from SNU too. Again, very tough early laning phase, but able to just turn that around really off the head of Derek top lane in that first big team fight at the 3rd dragon. Just a good job from SNU to not get in their heads after losing the first 2 dragons and kind of regrouping, knowing that you have the better team comp, knowing that you have the better just people playing their champions. And I think, like you said, Arkansas Monticello just doesn't have an answer for Derek. Doesn't really have an answer for any tanks. And you look at Ziggs's build too. I mean, your first item is a Seraphine's Embrace, kind of just more utility item than it is just burst item. And so it's tough because you probably could have played that Ziggs mid lane instead of an Alawi. And then maybe came in with a better ADC and this game would be just very different. But Derek's just running around top lane, having the time of his life, it looks like.
Yeah, they can't really hurt him. He might have a fight down here, but we should back up. It's a 2-on-4 for SNU.
Yeah, not something that you want to fight, but SNU also not having a tower there for defense. But if you look mid lane, Caden is just farming away and is going to look towards Monticello's base because Monticello not doing anything in this bottom lane, just wasting so much time positioning for a third dragon, sure, but their base is just going to die.
Yeah. We might be potentially giving this drag, but this is so much gold that's going to go over Tristana for taking it. And we just took the tower, and they still haven't killed the dragon. Derek's TPing in on top. I think we're going to be able to get there before they steal it.
Yeah, Caden turning it around, coming in from the backside here. A big ult here from Derek. We'll see if it comes through. There it is, a double ult. There's a reset coming in from Caden. There's two, three. Caden looking for that fourth kill, not going to be able to get it, and now SNU going to get that dragon. And so that is just... Did Ziggs get that kill? No. That's just tough from Monticello. They had the play there. They needed to execute dragon quickly. Kind of got forced out of the pit, didn't make the decision quick enough, and you lose a base tower, you lose dragon, and you lose a team fight, and you lost another member just then. So SNU doing a very good job at macro and micro play there to just really take advantage across the map. Caden's going to go and try and take in Mordekaiser, but yeah, I don't think Caden's getting
might die here. Yeah. So usually Caden would get that kill, but Mordekaiser has an ability to take the opponent into Shadow Realm where it's just a 1v1. So when that happens, Caden support Cam can't help him out at all. So without the support of Yuumi, he's gonna go down there. Just a little cockiness from Caden, probably stepped up a little too far forward. Will it matter in the grand scheme of things? No, they're still down 8k. Probably won't matter. We'd have to do that 4 more times just to get even gold. So.
And yes, Big Boy Alpha in the chat saying, I see the Malphite has made a return. He has, and he's made a return in a big way this game. Derek really putting SNU just on his back at the start of this game and bringing them into the lead. And so now SNU needing to look to finish this game. They have time. They have Tristana, but the quicker you finish this game, the less you have the ability to throw.
Yeah. I'm looking for SNU to group up here, push out waves a little bit, and then look to take the top objective, take Baron. Once we take that objective, we'll be able to end the game. It's going to buff all of our minions for those new in the chat, and it's going to allow us to push and take those towers with no fear of the tower attacking us. But right now,
honestly, if we get vision of Wukong here, Caden might jump onto the Seraphine and Ziggs and blow them up, but didn't get vision of Wukong making his way mid. Derek doing a good job pushing out that top lane. And we're going to look to see if we can turn and kill this Alawi. And usually if you see two people on the other team bottom lane, your team turns towards Baron, but Arkansas Monticello just doesn't have the damage to do Baron. And so they're just not able to. They're going to try to look to pick SNU off, but I don't think this is a good fight for Monticello.
As long as Caden doesn't get killed. Uh-oh, Cam has jumped off of Caden. That is definitely a misplay from Cam.
I think Cam was dancing in his chair and he realized we were in a team fight and he sat back down quickly and tried to press a button.
Oh.
Sometimes when you play Yuumi and you don't have to press buttons like ever, you get scared when you actually do and you forget where your buttons are on your keyboard.
I know Caden and I know Caden well. He is he's not happy with Cam right now. It ultimately doesn't matter. We're just too far ahead, but like he's a little mad at his support Cam. Like what happened? Like what did you do? Like why did you do that?
Hey, next week we will have comms, and I guarantee if there's a play like that next week, we're for sure going to comms because I want to hear Caden yell at Cam for that one. But SNU now just kind of looking to end the game. Maybe not having the damage to do it, but a very big team fight, and they're up 9k gold. That is 3 completed items across the board. And so Arkansas Monticello having a long way to climb here. If we look at the items, Caden has 3.5 items built, maybe get it back here and get his 4th item. Compared to Ziggs 2. Ziggs has 2 items. Unfortunately, there's a big difference there.
And I look at that. I look at our Malphite top. He has 3 items, almost a 4th, and they are complete tank items. These are items that just give him more health, more durability. He's harder to hit through. Derek died one time. Derek's probably not going to die another time this game unless he dives from Fountain. Realistically, he's just so unbelievably tanky.
Yeah, that's the one just really key thing about Derek and this team is he's a very, you don't want to say KDA player, but wow, just immediately alting, seeing this Ziggs out of position, alting the Ziggs, making sure he's just gonna die. SNU
Did we
gonna
have a
get
ward
Baron.
there? Did Derek
No,
just
we
leave him
didn't.
out there and just know he was there? Because,
I
like, that's some
I think he got
confidence.
caught by a minion. But yeah, that is
Okay.
absolute confidence to just R into that blind, not knowing who else was in that bush. SNU now going to look to see if they can kill this Wukong. And if they do, I'm going to say that might be game number 2 for SNU. Looking at group here, maybe take top tower, focus, and turn around and take mid inhib, while Derek may stay top and get the top tower and inhib. But like I was saying, Derek just not a person that dies a ton in games. And so you probably won't see more than 3 deaths on him ever, even if you lose a game. And that's something that you love to see from a top laner. Just someone that is able to just control the map like this. Monticello kind of
He's
throwing their
steady.
lives here, trying to save towers.
Don't think it's gonna work. Nope, there goes the Mordekaiser. Caden's bringing in the mid wave. Drafting it up.
Yep,
SNU
SNU
have
now
all
looking to
towers.
end
Oh
game
my.
2 and start their season 1-0.
Got deleted from our
Again.
stream by Caden.
Caden doesn't want to end this game. He wants more kills. Look at him. Caden at the end of the season will probably have 50 plus kills.
Easily.
I mean, yeah, I would just say 50 plus kills, maybe in 3 games. I don't know. But that is game number 2 and the series coming in from SNU.
Dominating performance. Times where we were a little sloppy. I don't know who it is for SNU next week, but I know ECU is mainly our main rival, and so we're definitely going to have to clean up a little bit of the sloppiness. We play them.
Yeah,
But
well,
I like what I saw right there.
yeah, it was good. I think there were some really good highlights coming in from every person on SNU, and especially when you have 2 members stepping into the Rift, 2 new members, it may be just kind of nerve-wracking a little bit. And we've seen that across some of the games, some of the freshmen, or some of the new guys kind of having some nerves that first game. But Mason, maybe one of the key players in this whole series, able to just counter jungle the Arkansas Monticello jungler, counter gank, and just really setting SNU ahead. I think we have 2 Primal Nerds player of the games coming in for SNU here as they're about to step into the booth and get interviewed by us, Gage. You get to interview with me tonight.
Awesome.
But a very good start to the season for SNU, going 1-0 in their championship defense. And like you said, just some very good moments. Some things
Yeah.
that we have to work on, obviously being our first game, but some very big moments there.
Yeah. I'm really proud of the draft. In games like this, it can seem the most important thing. All respect to Monticello, they fought hard. They played their best. I'd say their draft didn't really do them any justice. I'm really proud of SNU and how they drafted. That's 50% of the battle right there.
Yeah. Something that I think we've worked quite a lot on is the draft. And we are now going to head over to the Primal Nerds players plural, of the game going to be Caden Miller. He's solo. It is just player of the game. Hello, Caden. Josh, Gage and I are sitting here talking, and I would love for Cam to be on the mic to hear. Did Cam get yelled at the very end of that game? He popped off you, and I think we thought you were going to yell at him. He might be muted.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Caden, figure it out, bro.
Okay, hello.
You,
Yeah, there
hey,
we
hey,
go.
hey, we can
Yo,
hear you.
what's up?
What's
Wait,
up? So, did Cam get yelled at? We got to know.
No, he didn't get yelled at. Why would he get
Okay,
yelled at?
good. At the very end, he may have accidentally jumped off you and just sat in the middle of a fight.
I didn't even notice. We were like killing them all. The game was over.
You were too
Honestly.
busy jumping around.
Yeah, I don't really play Tristana. I haven't played that champ in like probably a year. So
That's what I was wondering that when you picked it. But Kaden, I want to ask the first question tonight. How did tonight's matchup, obviously going in, defending championships, probably some nerves going in, but how did it feel getting that first game, especially for you, little ego player, getting that first game off your back and ending this series with a dominant win?
it was just good to feel good to just play again. It's been a while. We didn't play a game last week because we had an off week. Played a couple of scrims. Everything we've done so far, training's been pretty good. So I'm honestly not surprised as how the game went. It's nice to know that first game I kind of hard carried and just steamrolled the game. Second game, slow start through the lane. We got kind of ganked and stuff like that. Bad matchup. Ziggs kind of hard counters us. Unfortunately, I didn't know this guy plays Ziggs. But it's nice to know that like if I don't like hard carry the game through bot lane, like my team's gonna do good and be able to help us win the game. So
Yeah, I love to hear that. Walk us through that first game. You are
first
one crushing bottom lane, and then there's a play in the top side jungle where you're 1v3ing and you
Oh,
are probably on. No, I guess you're 2v3ing. Cam was there, but Yumi doesn't
yeah.
really count as a
Yeah,
champion.
true.
You're like at 50 HP and you somehow turn around and get 3 kills. So walk us through how you were feeling after doing that and then going into a pentakill.
I mean, a lot of them are really weak. So as long as I don't get like chain CC'd by like Seraphine and like Varus or like it's like low key free. So as long as I like Cam's not jumping off me, because the first couple times we played Yumi, he'd like jump off me mid fight and I just like solo die. But
Yeah, he did do that the second game.
yeah, so like
Oops.
all you gotta do is I
Oops.
just trust Cam's gonna be there and like I'm so far ahead that like I like 3-shot him. So basically just gotta jump him and make sure I'm like dodging their stuff. I don't think they really knew what Nyla did because they didn't. I don't think they ever thought I was gonna pick it. But literally like in the lane, like they're like really clueless. They'd like flash randomly and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I don't think Cam still knows what Nyla
I
does.
don't.
yeah,
Well, congratulations, guys. Cam, what a great performance on
Thank you.
Yumi.
Thank you.
Gage and I were kind of sitting here talking about how kind of what you were saying, Gage or Caden, that the second game maybe a little bit slower start for SNU in the first 10 minutes. But then, I mean, Thomas and Derek and Mason kind of taking over the rest of the map and then really just pushing you guys to the victory. And then obviously Tristanic comes alive in that middle game and
Yeah.
you guys just able to push your advantage into the end. But what's something that you guys are kind of just looking forward to taking off this week, knowing how well you did, but also some ways to improve? What are you guys looking forward to the rest of the season?
I don't know.
I'm
All
looking
right, good answer,
forward
Cam.
to hopefully picking more Yumi because
Yes.
off Yumi the lane is a little bit harder to play because I have to like micromanage what he does because he's kind of clueless. But
Very
other
true.
than that, like I'm just ready to like play more games, play different champs. Like this game, I only played Nyla, Tristana. I probably haven't played Tristana for a while. But I like to pull out maybe Samira a little bit, maybe a little bit of like MF, Kog'Maw. I don't know. Maybe get Cam off the Yumi
Hmm.
for a game or two. And I don't know.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Maybe let's see some crazy top lanes from Derek. Maybe like a Kale game or something. I don't know.
Be fun. Well, Gage, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Well, first, congratulations. Proud of you guys. A little bit about like the vibes, the shot calling. Who's making the calls? Are you guys doing all the plan together?
Caden's master.
Most
just
of the
listen to
time,
Caden.
I'm trying to make the calls, but it kind of depends. Like early game, like it's really just Thomas, Derek, and Mason all doing stuff, and like where there's stuff of that. Like Mason's kind of like asking, "Oh, can I gank here? Can I play here on this, or whatever?" Or like, "Oh, I'm playing for mid, playing for top, whatever." Usually I'm like making calls. It's like, "Okay, drag coming this time. Oh, Baron's coming up. Oh, we need to shove mid. Do this. Like, oh, someone needs to go bottom. Oh, this person needs a TP, whatever." Like, oh, we're playing for Baron. Like, make sure we get our camps and then get wave stays good. But it's usually for the most part me. But early mid game, everyone like does stuff for the most part.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, guys, I'm going to leave you with this a little surprise insider information.
Mm.
Austin will be in attendance for the game next week.
Bang.
No way.
Bang.
Yeah, in person commentating coming in from me.
Let's go.
So excited to see these guys play next week. Do we know who we're playing?
Probably some bums.
Well, it's not ECU, so it's either Harding or OBU. So I don't know. I don't
The rest
know.
of the season in the championship defense and a ring ceremony next week coming in for you guys. So excited for that as well.
Does Cam get
But
one?
we will see you guys. Congratulations on 1-0 this season. Good job from both of you and from the rest of the team. Loved seeing you guys play tonight.
Thanks, Austin.
And enjoy the week. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See ya. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight for League of Legends. The rest of this week, SNU is going to have Halo tomorrow, Rocket League tomorrow, and then coming in on Friday, we will have Smash. Sorry, not Halo tomorrow. Halo's on a bye. Rocket League tomorrow and Smash on Friday. So enjoy your rest of the week for SNU Esports. We will catch you guys. I'll catch you guys next week live and in person. Starting on Tuesday night, you'll get to see my face behind our beautiful casting desk. Gage, thank you for hopping on the call tonight. Matt, I
Yes,
miss
thank
seeing
you
you
for
on the
having me.
Rift, but good to hear your voice.
Yes, it's good to still get to be a part of it as well. Even when I'm gone, I'm proud of the boys. Defending champs, and they played well and proved it. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and everyone have a good night.
Where did we get lost in this? Those summers I do miss when we were just two kids without